Hello,
Cupid
everyone.
Parasite.
Yes, thank you. We're going to be starting a brand new route, starting with, I guess not starting, but we're going to be doing a brand new route with, forgot his name. Forgot his first name. I know he's Mr. Snail. We're going to be starting out with Shelby Snail. It's not very often where I call a person by their last name more, but since they use their last name a lot in this one, it's hard to remember that his first name is Shelby. But we're going to be starting a brand new
スタートするんだね。君と再会できたチャンスを今度こそはものにするから。
We're going to be going through a using the same name. Yes, going through the common routes. With all the choices.
はい、ロサンヨークの君たち、チャンネルはそのまま。パラサイトハウスの時間だよ。
I'm really confused. I said start a new game, right?
番組の司会は僕、みんなのボンバーチョリソーがお送りします。今日から始まる新番組、テーマはなんと婚活だ。ワオ！みんな、婚活って言葉は知ってるかい？マリージハンティングとも言うよな。サバンナで竜の群れを襲う肉食獣のように幸せな結婚生活を狩るんだ。僕には必要ないさ。一生独り身って決めてるからね。でもレディーたちの熱いアプローチは待ってるぜ。おっと、話がそれたな。とにかくこの番組では婚活がテーマだ。予定では婚活男女がシェアハウスするはずだったんだけど、一気に女子メンバーは脱落。あっという間に男子メンバーだけになったんだ。噂ではみんなクセ者だらけだって話だ。果たしてこの番組はどうなる？みんな目をしっかりと開けて最終回まで見ててくれ。それじゃあ行ってみよう。 Cupid Corporation Presents Parasite House Start。 今回の番組の舞台はこちら。この部屋で失敗続きの婚活イケメン男子たちが婚活を成功させるために奮闘するよ。彼らの講師はもちろん Cupid Corporation のトップブライダルアドバイザー。
Hi there, I'm Lynette Muir, the Cupid Corporation's top bridal advisor.
なんと彼女は CC 史上最年少でアドバイザーのトップに上り詰めたやり手の女の子らしいんだ。素敵な恋と結婚をしたいみんな、キューピッドコーポレーションで縁結びを頼んでみよう。お次はギルラブクラフト。
はい、こんにちは。ギル・ラブクラフトです。
彼は昔の失恋を引きずりまくりの失恋パラサイトさ。素敵な恋で古傷を癒せるといいな、ボーイ。
頑張ります。
お次は S 氏。なんと代理人を立てての参加。こいつは厄介な匂いがプンプンするぜ。
どうも S 氏の代理人オーウェン・ヘリオットです。
噂によると彼はチーパラサイト、自分の地位が一番大事だって話だ。代理を立ててやっているのもそのためだって話だぜ。番組中に本人登場なんて展開もあるかも。お次は掲載員 F デューキー。無口で冷ややかな目つきがチャーミングなファッションボーイ。彼は外見パラサイト。顔面偏差値が優れていないと話してももらえないらしいぜ。スタジオにいてよかったよ。お次はアラン・メルビル。
はい、どうもアラン・メルビルです。
彼はなんと略奪パラサイト。他 人の女じゃないと触手が動かないらしいぜ。
恋してる女の子たち、俺のテクに興味があるなら9番街ラグジュアリーピローへ。いい夢見させてあげるよ。
いきなり略奪パラサイトぶりが発揮されてる。でも法に触れるのだけはごめんだよ。放送できないからね。最後は皆さんお待ちかね、エンタメ好きの Guys and Ladies ならご存知、シリウッド俳優のラール・アコニット。
はーい。
スタジオのみんなも大興奮だ。テレビの前の君たちも待ってたんじゃないかい。ラウル・アコニットはあの大ヒット映画「ラクダに乗った女神」の最新作への出演が発表されたばかりだ。しかしそんなイケメンシリウッド俳優よりもパラサイトぶりがあるという噂だ。一体何パラサイトなのかはお楽しみに。それではキューピッドパラサイトスタート。
That was a really long introduction back into the game, but I'm okay with it. I don't remember it starting like this at all, but it's a nice change of pace. Also, it's a nice, clean, fresh into another route. Also, I don't know if I want to say anything, but now that I watched the video, I think I got the secret route spoiled for me, because for the first time I noticed text and I know what the text said. I'm like, well, whatever, I guess that's spoiled, but I'm really looking forward to it now. Whatever, we're just gonna go on now. But as always, I'm going to leave timestamps down below if you just want to do specific choices, or if you just want to read extra dialogue. I'm going to be... There's a skip option, so I can just flip the right joystick to skip to everything. But I'm sure most of you guys probably just read the entire thing anyway, just because this is all going for Shelby Snail now, and I mean, you could just go into the route without knowing what the common route is about, probably, because it really has nothing to do with it, except for the fact that she's trying to hook them all 5 up. Most people are familiar with the idea of Cupid. Cupid is the god in charge of helping people fall in love. And in Lost York, the company has taken up a mantle of that namesake. I wonder if it goes and talks about her and Celestia again. Cupid Corporation. Let me see. Let me see if it skips first. Okay, so it's going to skip. Let me just do the skip function. See what it pulls up first. It might just skip the whole thing. Sharing with a girl. I think this is at the end of the section, probably. Skipped all of Celestia. For any of you guys who haven't seen my first walkthrough, you might want to do that first, because I am skipping most of the common route. I'm only going to read new dialogue and new choices for Shelby, but the full common route is going to be in my first video. So that is what I went through to get here. Alright, I'm going to skip. See, okay. Oh, we skipped a lot. Okay. We're on 2, 3. We're on section 4, and I'll do it for the sake of the members. They all do seem kind of stubborn in their own way, but it's not impossible, right? I'm the god of love. Matchmaking is my sworn duty. I'll do my best.
そうか。そう言ってもらえて何よりだ。
Yeah. To start off with, I think I'll get in touch with them to set up a meeting.
面談をするのか。
Yes. Definitely, I'd like to talk to them face to face to find out what kind of people they might be compatible with. Their habits, their belief, how they grew up, it all affects the type of person that's best for them.
そうか。我が社には優秀なエンジニアの作ったマッチングシステムがあるはずだが、なるほどな。この勤勉さがトップブライダルアドバイザーになった秘訣というわけか。
I almost started talking because it's in pink. That's right, I may as well put my degree in romantic psychology to use, right? That's the whole reason I went to college after all. I wanted to learn how to succeed at matchmaking using the power of human nature. That was my one and only goal.
では、この5人のことも結婚まで導いてくれ。今日の話は以上だ。頼りにしているぞ。
I won't let you down. I'll get started right away.
ああ。やはり一人だけ空欄はまずかったか。一人だけ頼んでは怪しまれると思い、パラサイト5と呼ばれていることを利用して5人の中に紛れ込ませたが、かえって目立ったか。だが偽名を使って問題が起きても困るしな。匿名希望ということにしておくか。しかし面談か。どうやら誰かに代理を頼むしかないようだ。
And that's how the challenge and my pursuit of a promotion began. The Cupid Corporation is now responsible for a group of famously problematic members known in the business as the Parasite 5. If I can help them all get married, I'll earn another promotion and rise even higher than top bridal advisor. To reach the very top of the Cupid Corporation, which is already at the very top of the industry, now's my chance to prove that humans can do wonderful things all on their own. Well, anyway, I was supposed to have a meeting with the Parasite 5 today, but... Alright, and the choice for this one is, are you struggling with work or something? Alright, we're getting up to the next choice, and I went back a couple just to put things in perspective. He's basically grilling her about her god knowledge, her Olympian knowledge. He's a stubborn old man past his prime who's obsessed with past glory.
なんて面白い解釈なんだ。じゃあこの会社の名前にもなっているキューピッドについては？
As he asked, he had a big goofy grin on his face. And the choices, I read something on Wackypedia. Let's see, I read that when he's not making people fall in love, the young boy loves playing pranks on people. I just repeated the generic info you get when you search for Cupid online, and he heard that I could see him losing interest in real time.
そっか。まあそうなんだけどさ、君自身の解釈を織り交ぜて聞かせてほしいな。
I expect her to describe herself.
もちろん知識として気質の情報を頭に入れておくのは大事だとも思うけどね。
I was trying to avoid letting anything slip, but I guess if he just thinks it's my interpretation, then it should be okay.
じゃあ君はこの文献についてどう思う？
Suddenly pulled out some kind of book. Okay, we've seen everything after that. Okay, after the interview with Ryuki, and she's been sprayed a bunch of times with facial mist, we'd better fix our makeup. I have to admit my skin does feel softer, but I'm sure my foundation is ruined. I'd better make a trip to the bathroom. That's funny. Alright, we're gonna continue.
俺は非常に合理的な考え方だと思うけれど、君だってルームシェアしてたんでしょ？
Okay, we're having an interview with Alan now, and he's talking about sharing people. Well, I did live in a share house at one point, but wait, did I tell you that?
さあ、どうだったかな？
What's going on here?
とにかく、君、結構俺の好みだからさ。さっきいた他の4人の誰かと付き合ってみてよ。みんなビジュアル良かったし、どう？
What an incredibly gross suggestion. They were going to imagine the faces of your other members. I can't deny that the other guys were generally handsome, but I can't look at my members that way. This is not acceptable. I slam my head down on the desk. I'm suddenly furious at his shameless audacity. I'm going to keep skipping to the love test now.
以上が今回の件についての彼女からの報告書のまとめです。
I've decided to include this little bit about Shelby since we are going down his route, just as a refresher.
ご苦労だった。
いえ、では失礼します。
ずいぶんな報告をされていたな。Esse氏が実在するか厳密に調査すべしか。一応私であることはバレていないようだが。オーウェンには念を押しているから大丈夫だろうが、彼が代理であることは隠し通さねば。キューピッドコーポレーションの社長シェルビー・スネイルは愛妻か。このイメージを崩すわけには。
Oh no, we're going to tear that completely down. You're going to date Lynette now.
いい加減この勘違いを解きたいものだが、会社の広告を任せている代理店には許してはもらえないだろうな。正直騙しているようで気が引けるのだが、株価を出して反対されるとさすがに反論できない。それに代理店の担当者は大学時代の先輩だ。世話になったし恩もある。だが嘘はいずれバレる。だから早く結婚して嘘を真実に変えなくては。
I wonder if he's going to ask her to keep it a secret when she finds out and come out with, oh, well, that's been my wife all along.
結婚か。正直私の人生において必要があるのかわからない。私は今まで常に SS でいるために生きてきた。無駄なことなどしたくはない。恋愛感情ほど非合理的なものはないのだから。
キューピッドの家か。
So we have this weird thing with Alan that is never touched up upon in the last route. We're probably not going to even find out until his route. Okay, that should be it. I left my desk as I finished completing files for dealing with Parasite 5. Next I should find people who match their personalities. I got a cup of coffee at the drink dispenser and returned back to my seat.
あら、まだ残ってたの?
When I turned around, I saw Clarice walking with the files in her hand. Yeah, I wanted to solidify the matchmaking plans a little more. Isn't it rare for you to be working this late?
今ね、キューピッドシステムにラブタイプテストっていうサービスを新しく導入する話があって、それを担当してるの。ついデータを集めるのに夢中になっちゃって、気がついたらこの時間だったってわけ。
A love type questionnaire, getting into fortune telling.
違うわよ。心理学の恋愛色彩理論を参考にシステム化したエビデンスがあるテストよ。ほら、大学の時にオコーナー教授に習ったでしょ。
Oh, that love type test. Like how people can be sorted into 6 different compatibility groups.
そうそう、それを元にしてるの。恋愛傾向が分かれば相性がいい人同士を紹介できる確率が上がるでしょ。
That's true, it might work. When will it be introduced?
まだプロトタイプの段階だから実装までには時間がかかるかもしれないわ。
Sorry, I cut you off. For this to work, we need to run as many initial tests as possible. We're going to try the test. Sure, what do I do?
ありがとう、助かるわ。ちょっと待ってね。あなたの PC でできるようにするから。
That's funny. I thought we were going to get this result. You'll just have to wait and see what it is, though. Paris was downloading the software from the computer server with ease. A few minutes later, my PC started running the software and it was showing the test logo.
はい、どうぞ。まずはあなたの最も親しい異性を一人頭の中に思い浮かべて。友達でも恋人でも OK よ。その人に対するあなたの気持ちや行動について14の質問が出てくるわ。恥ずかしがらずに素直な気持ちで挑んでちょうだい。イエスならピンクのチェックボックスに、ノーならイエローのチェックボックスにチェックを入れてね。まだプロトタイプだから当たらなかったらごめん。
Okay, I'll give it a shot. I stared into my PC screen. Let's see what she picks for Mr. Snail. Okay, if you catch him looking at another woman, do you instantly get jealous? No. Would you happily sacrifice yourself in order to give him whatever he desires? No. Do you feel like you want him by your side only when you are feeling like having him there? No. Would you rather be friends for a while first before you start dating? No. When selecting a partner, are economic factors important? Yes. Were you attracted to him from the moment you met? No. While you're in class or at work, do you suddenly stop and realize you've only been thinking about him? No. If he's suffering through some kind of trouble, would you prefer to suffer along with him? No. He said no to a lot of things. When asked about your plans or tries to get too involved, do you find yourself trying to distance yourself from him? No. When selecting a partner, is it important for his upbringing or education to match yours? No. Do you feel that you and he are similarly attractive? No. Actually, the rest is no until 14. Does your own happiness depend on making sure he's happy? No. Do you feel that you and he share a close connection? No. When selecting a partner, do you think your personal history influences your decision? Yes. This was the last thing we said yes to in the ending route for Ryuki, and it gave us a certain thing. It's just going to be the same this time. And that's it. Was that all?
大丈夫よ。すぐ集計が終わって結果が出るから。ほら、プラグマ、実利的な愛ね。相手の経済力、経歴、身分など社会的地位に価値を感じるタイプね。
You know, I kind of noticed that the background, well, is blue first of all, which is the prestige parasite, and it kind of has the profile of the character as well. So it's like, okay, this is your love type. Do you go through the rest of the common route with this love type in mind? That's why the test result was at the end, and it says like best match or worst match or whatever, and then the ending is according to that. Alright, continue. A practical love, I don't get it.
そうね。この手のテストって深層心理が反映されるから、 無自覚に計算高いところがあるのかもね。私はいいと。
She really does take long pauses to continue speaking. Like, I've cut her off 3 times thinking she was done. I even did this in the Indian route too. I don't even want to go back. It's so annoying. I never thought about my own love type before. This was a good study.
他のラブタイプは見なくていいの？
Check out my PC screen once more. And nope, we're gonna stop checking. That's the choice you want to make now. Because we want to go with Pragma.
それは良かったわ。まあ作ってる私が言うのもなんだけど、参考程度にね。結局男と女はフィーリングなんだから。
Nice skip. That's what I want. Nice skip. Okay, well we're in the next section, which has no choices. I should be able to skip, hopefully. I was gonna say I broke the game.
今日は助かった。急に彼に連れてこられたんだろう。業務中すまなかったな。
So it did allow me to skip to the next choice, which is in the section after that. So we helped out with Mr. Snail and their advertising agency to portray as his wife to the tabloid who was snooping about during the meeting. So Mr. Snail expressed his thanks so earnestly I couldn't help but smile. They were going to say, just glad I could help. It was nothing. I'm just glad I could help.
私ではあそこまで現場の話や会員に寄り添った考えは話せないからな。お前がいてくれてよかった。
Listening to him talking, Mr. Snail showed a level of happiness I'd rarely seen from him. The thought that I really did help somehow made me happy too.
しかし普段と雰囲気が違うが、その服装はどうしたんだ？
Mr. Duff made me wear this. I guess I'll have to give it back to him later.
着せられた。一体なぜ？
I have no idea. Maybe he thought I should be dressed more professionally since it was a business lunch and all.
そうか。だが似合っているな。
He just compliment you on your disguise. Oh, you think so?
まあ、かなりいい。
He blushed when he said that. This is new. I'm glad I kept reading. There's the love catch for that. Along with the rare compliment, the president revealed an equally rare smile. Thinking about it, I realized that was the first time I'd worn a jacket like that in front of him.
何にせよ迷惑をかけたな。実は彼は私の大学時代の先輩なんだが、強引なところがあってな。今日の会食も今朝のニュースを見ていきなり組まれたことだったんだ。
Oh, that's right. That was a pretty strange report they did on today's funny news. What she didn't stay for that morning was the news about does Mr. Snail actually have a wife, because we've never seen her before, which is why she dressed up in the first place.
なあ、先輩は CC の宣伝をよく考えてくれるいい担当者ではあるんだが、目的のためには手段を選ばないところがあってな。まさかお前を巻き込むとは思わなかった。だがおかげで会食はうまくいった。ありがとう。
I was surprised at the gentle smile he flashed at me. I couldn't remember him ever smiling like that before. It made me realize that normally when he smiled, he was pretty much just for PR purposes. I think this might be the only time I've ever seen him outside of things like magazine spreads. He looks so much like younger when he smiles, it's easy to forget that he's only 32 years old. He always seems so calm and collected, but I'm realizing that maybe he's been struggling on his own this whole time.
ああ、仕事のメールだ。オフィスに戻らなければな。今日は助かった。引き続きパラサイト5を頼むぞ。
So it looks like they're skipping to the share house now. I barely managed to hold back a yawn as I head for my room and look out the window. What I saw there froze me in place. Aunt Minerva? What? Why is she there?
はーい、来ちゃった。
That's strange. Also, doesn't that voice sound like the instructor that she's had, Miss Tyner or whatever? It sounds exactly like her. So, first day of share house, and her aunt's paying her a visit. What do you mean, pay me a visit? I glanced around to make sure we were alone. I quickly dragged Aunt Minerva to my room and pushed her into a corner. What on earth are you doing here?
テレビ見てたら会いたくなっちゃって。
What, so you came all the way from Celestia? I mean, I'm happy you're here, but it's going to be bad news if someone sees you.
いいじゃない。だって私こっちの世界好きだもの。本当はあまり人間界に降りちゃいけないからすぐ帰らなきゃいけないけれど。はあ、素敵だわ。この家も映画に出てくるみたいな場所でとってもゴージャスね。
She poked her head out of my door, her face flushed with joy. She was staring at Raoul in the living room.
あのクールな横顔。素敵。
Wait, was Aunt Minerva a fan of Raoul or something? Thinking about it, I first learned about him by watching all the movies with her. She'd never really mentioned him before, but maybe she was actually a big fan. I have to admit, it's kind of cute seeing her like this, but if Raoul spots her, it's definitely going to cause trouble. I suddenly remembered how the statue that Raoul had brought looked exactly like her. Sorry, but we've got a kind of no trespassing rule here, so...
あら、そうなの？しょうがないわね。もう帰るわ。でも、あと1分だけ。
Is she really that in love with him? As I thought about how I'd never seen Aunt Minerva like this before, someone came up behind me.
リネット。
Alan, is everything okay? I pushed Aunt Minerva beneath the stairwell to get her out of sight, then turned to Alan, who was smiling at me suggestively. Oh.
ちょっとこっち来てくれない？
What are we going to talk about?
ほら、ちょっと試してみてよ。
Huh? Wait, what are you?
いいから、じっとして。
Is this when he puts her on a pillow? He brought me to my bedroom and tossed me onto my bed, and then... What? I wonder if it's going to go back to Amber or she's just going to be shoved underneath a staircase. Let's skip and see what happens. Okay, I can't skip. We'll just go with it, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to need a new CG for this too, so... I really would like him to get off me now, though.
ゆうちゃん、私はもう帰るわね。
Okay, so she does kind of like talk. That's funny. Aunt Minerva knocked on my door and called out to me, bringing me back to reality. Now was no time to be calmly analyzing my current situation. I didn't want anyone to see me in such a compromising position. Apparently Alan hadn't heard anything. He still seemed to be measuring the angle of my chin against the ceiling. Hold on, I'll come see you off.
あら？返事がないわね。寝ちゃったのかしら。またメールするわね。
At least she didn't open the door before leaving. I'm so glad she didn't see me like this. Yeah, I know, right?
なーにほっとしてるの？
Maybe he can't hear her. He whispered that into my ear without warning. My heart skipped another beat. I turned my gaze back to him and noticed that he'd just inched a bit closer. What are you doing?
安眠のためにリラックスさせてあげようと思ったんだよ。ね?
Oh, actually... Oh yeah, he kisses her ear. Actually, I have a screenshot from Shelby Snail from the very beginning, when they first introduce everyone, so I'll just... He gave a small laugh and kissed my ear playfully. His touch tickled and I couldn't stop myself from squirming a bit. See my reaction, Alan began grinning from ear to ear. Damn you, Alan. Of course, the thieving Parasite had plenty of experience with women. I was sure he'd done this exact same thing to other members. But I'm his advisor and a goddess to boot. I wasn't about to let him toy with me that easily. Okay, I get how great the pillow is. Now can you please get out? I have to get up early tomorrow.
ねえ、君ってこっちの経験はあるの？
Can I skip it, please? That was the last thing I managed to say before falling into a deep sleep, so we were able to skip a little bit. Watching her sleep right there in front of me, I couldn't help but sigh quietly to myself.
まったく。いくら他人の女にしか興味ない男とはいえ、異性の前で寝るなんて無警戒すぎない？
I don't remember him saying this in the other walkthrough.
まあ仕方ないか。こっちに来てまだ6年目。人間で言えば物心ついたばかりって感じだろうし。警戒心持てるほどの経験してないだろうからな。
Yeah, he definitely didn't say this. He knows that she's been out of Celestia for that long, and he's comparing her to a 6-year-old now. As I stared at her innocent face, an emotion I hardly recognized arose in me. Oh, really? It was an emotion I had long since forgotten, one that should stay forgotten, one that I wasn't fit to experience. I didn't want to let it try to control me, so I reached out for the necklace around her neck, but... Whoa. What just happened? That scared the heck out of me. As soon as I touched it, a savage pain shot through my body. I quickly pulled my hand back, but a burning pain lingered upon my finger.
やっぱり、俺は寝具には触れられないみたいだね。
No, if you're a devil, I would assume not. Regardless, there's something I have to do for her sake. We're probably not going to know anything about it until his root, dang it. We're going to get more and more pieces of Alan until it's finally Alan's root, which I think is like 4th. Actually, it might be 5th. Dang it, Alan. Alright, let's see if I can skip. Alright, so we're able to skip to the next choice. And who is she the most worried about? At this point, they're going to go on mock dates with everyone. And yeah, so her friend is asking her who she's most worried about. And we're going to pick Mr. Snail. Well, I think Monsieur Esse, I don't even know if he'll be making an appearance.
ああ、あの人代理使ってるんだっけ？しかも代理が社長の秘書のオーウェン・ヘリオットだっけ？
Is she really gonna go out with Owen? Because that'd be kind of funny. The very same.
S 氏って社長なんじゃないの？
I know that's the second time that Monsieur Esse has been mentioned as the president. She mentioned it once in the interview. She's like, it's not you, right? He's like, no, he's married. And now Claire's is like, it's him. I had the same thought initially, but when I confronted him, the president just denied it and insisted on his devotion.
まあならオーウェンさん相手に頑張るしかないわね。意外とあなたパラサイト5のこときちんと考えてるのね。
Well, I am their managing advisor. Plus, it's my big chance to get a promotion.
真面目ね。でもあなたのそういうところ好きよ。みんなは見放したってのに偉いわ。でも彼らがパラサイト5だとしたらあなたもキューピッドパラサイトかもね。
We've already seen all this.
あれだからギルが失恋パラサイトになっちゃうのよ。手強いわよ、ギル。
I'm pretty sure she said that too. But I think that's the last thing before the section is why I stopped there. Alright, case number 2, question mark. We're gonna go on a date with Owen. Wednesday, 8 a.m. Today was my practice date with Monsieur Esse. He said he'd be waiting for me at the subway entrance on 8th Avenue. I asked Owen to do everything he could to get Monsieur Esse himself to come, and yet...
今日はよろしくお願いいたします。
How dare you? Hello. Once again, it's Mr. President's representative instead. Did I not make it clear that it was important for Monsieur Esse to show up in person? Why are you taking pictures?
本日お伺いできないので、今日のデートの報告をするようにと。
Including taking pictures of your potential partner? I don't mind rescheduling if it means he can actually show up.
申し訳ございません。それはできかねるとのことです。
I have to admit that Owen was taking his job quite seriously. He'd already sent those pictures he took off to his client. So I guess this is going to be a virtual date.
返事がありました。今日は一日よろしく頼むとのことです。
He's looking forward to his virtual date. Fine, whatever. So did he actually come up with a plan for our date then?
いえ、私が練らせていただきました。とはいえ、ご本人らしさをイメージしつつ、デートプランを作成いたしましたので、ご安心ください。
In his shoes? Have fun. I was swimming. I was going to ask. I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind was a pool, because he likes swimming. Wait, a pool? Owen had escorted me to the rooftop pool of a nearby hotel. The comfy sofas and poolside umbrellas are definitely popular to women, but he just guided me straight to the pool itself.
ええ、彼はいつもこちらに来て運動なさっていますので、彼のことを知るのに合理的かと。
I see.
朝の10時を過ぎると遊びに来る方々が増えるので、いつも早朝に利用されています。ですので、デートは8時に指定させていただきました。
I was wondering why our date was so early. I guess that explains it. So he comes here to swim every day?
毎日というわけではありません。今日のように来られない時もありますし。ですが、なるべく通うようにされていたはずです。
Then would it be possible to arrange a meeting with him on a day where he can come to the pool?
申し訳ございません。私の雇用主は秘密がありまして、不用意に人にお会いできないんです。
Well, what's more important, protecting his secrets or getting married?
お伝えしておきます。
Sigh. Monsieur Esse might be a little odd, but Owen is just way too uptight. I could tell this conversation was going nowhere. I have to admire his dedication to keeping his client's secret, though. Okay, so what are we going to do now? I was able to rent a swimsuit at the front desk, so I could technically go swimming, but that felt kind of plain for a date. I was thinking maybe we would have some drinks by the pool, or maybe a quick game of volleyball. I just stood there waiting to hear exactly what Owen had planned, but Owen had a genuinely confused look on his face.
プールに来て泳がないんですか？
We did come to the pool after all. Does Monsieur Esse generally bring girls to pool just so he can go off swimming by himself? What about a little poolside chat?
プールは運動するために来ております。そもそも女性と遊ぶような方ではありませんので。では、先に行ってまいります。
Not to slack off with women. Huh? Is he getting the pool? Before I could reply, Owen hit send on an email, changed it to a swimsuit, and jumped into the pool. He just changed right then and there? Or did he just take off his shirt and go swimming? He swam to the other side, then began making his way back towards me. I tried to get his attention as he got closer, but he just turned right back around for another lap. I thought maybe Owen was in over his head, but it turns out he might just be another weirdo. That's nothing compared to Monsieur Esse, forcing him to represent him like this. What should I do? I realized that just standing around wasn't going to get Owen out of the pool. So instead, I decided I may as well go for a swim myself. I already paid for the swimsuit, so it'd be a waste not to put it to use. That's really funny. It's so cold. I should probably enter slowly so my body can get used to it. I stood by the edge of the pool and cautiously dipped one toe in. Looking around, I saw the people in the pool area clearly took their morning exercise very seriously. Now that I think about it, I'm not even sure I can actually swim a full 25 meters. I'd only ever been to a pool a few times before, mainly when my friends back in college would invite me along. And even then I never actually went in, I just took a few pictures to put on social media. One time Clarice mentioned how much she was into Olympic swimmers, so we spent the entire night watching a competition. That kind of thing doesn't actually exist in Celestia, so I had no idea if I'd be able to swim like a normal human. I noticed someone in one of the lanes moving through the water in perfect form, just like a professional you see on TV. Wow, whoever that is, they're really good. Is it going to be Mr. Snail? Compared to him, the others looked like they were just splashing at random. He moved as if he had fins and a tail. When he reached the end of the pool, he gave a graceful tap before turning and making his way back. If Clarice had been there, she probably would have started freaking out. Even as a complete novice, I was enthralled. Instead of sitting by the edge of the pool, I felt like I was sitting at home in my living room watching a race on TV. Yeah, actually, if Mr. Snail does this regularly and faithfully, then that's probably him actually swimming, which is why he couldn't meet in person because he was already busy. He reached the other side of the pool in a matter of seconds. Apparently finished, he pulled himself out of the rippling water. It felt like the kind of thing you see in a pro swimmer's highlight reel. I could feel myself getting carried away. I knew it. Wait, what? Is that the president? Oh, geez. Yeah, I know. I saw the CG during the intro video, and I'm like, since they're at a pool, I wonder if Mr. Snail's going to be here. And of course he is. I recognized him the instant he took off his caps and goggles. I was so surprised I fell straight into the pool. Oh no. The freezing water swallowed me up, but the fleeting drowning sensation was the furthest thing from my mind. I just couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Snail cutting through the water like a true Olympian. What's he doing here? I glanced at him, hoping he wouldn't notice me. He ran his hand through his hair and wiped his face dry. Yeah, I don't think they had the muscle competition yet at Parasite House, so she doesn't know that he swims. Everyone else sitting around the pool couldn't stop themselves from staring at such a handsome image. I know, right? He didn't seem to notice the attention though. He looked at his watch and seemed satisfied. I guess he'd been timing himself. She's just bubbles, just drowning. Could Monsieur Esse actually be Mr. Snail? No. Yes. He'd already denied it more than once, and I'd come through old magazines to find all the times he'd mentioned his wife. So it's not him, right? I mean, it can't be. If it's not, it's a pretty big coincidence, isn't it? I'll have to bring it up with Owen one more time. Monsieur Esse comes here all the time, and now I see Mr. Snail. Owen is the president's secretary. Anyone would be suspicious. But the president has said over and over again that he's a devoted husband, and I'd rather not keep bringing it up. He's lying. Maybe he has an identical twin, and that's the one who's secretly trying to find a wife. That's what I was thinking to myself. Actually, that would be a really good secret to want to keep if you look exactly like the president. I just couldn't stop my suspicions from growing. I lowered my head partway to the water and watched him head back to the changing room. Oh, I was hoping for a confrontation. 30 minutes later.
どうでしたか?
Why aren't you in a swimsuit? Owen had swum at least a kilometer by this point and he looked exhausted. He seemed ready to collapse right there by the pool. He changed back into normal clothes. His pants legs were rolled up, probably to avoid getting them wet. Still in my swimsuit, I couldn't help feeling a little embarrassed. Are you okay?
すみません。やっぱりいきなりこんなに泳ぐのは無理がありました。着替え終わってもまだ息が整わないとは。
You can only say like a few words at a time. Are you trying to swim as much as Monsieur Esse or something?
ええ、そうなんです。なので、凄さを代理として体現しようと時間は倍かかってしまいましたが。
I really don't see the point in trying to literally take the guy's place.
それでお昼はこちらを食べます。
Someone pulled a jelly drink out of his bag. Or a jelly drink on a date?
S 氏がいつも食べているのがこれですので。
And then when she sees him drinking a jelly drink, she's going to say, "Oh, look, Monsieur Esse likes this too." Once again, this reminds me of a certain someone. Oh, I get maybe they already had the breakfast.
よければこちらを。あ、少々お待ちください。写真を。
Owen put the drink down and snapped a photo, then handed it to me.
お待たせいたしました。どうぞお飲みください。
This is quite a lame date, isn't it? Okay. After watching me take a drink, Owen sent the photo off along with a quick write-up of our morning. Then he gasped as if he just remembered something and pointed his phone at me.
ま、一枚失礼いたします。
Of her in a swimsuit? What are you talking about?
すみません。デート内容についての報告を忘れておりましたので、今クライアントに送信しました。
Sent what? That picture you just took of me?
はい。
Listen, Owen, a girl wearing a swimsuit isn't going to love you for taking her picture out of nowhere. Try to be more considerate, okay?
そうでしたか。申し訳ございません。
He apologized with a confused look in his face. He swallowed some of the jelly drink, then quickly stood up.
では、私はこれで失礼いたします。
Oh, you're leaving already.
私のクライアントは何においても仕事が最優先ですし、私も仕事がありますから。
Wow, he's literally acting exactly like the president. He's not coming off very good, is he?
では、今日はありがとうございました。
Huh? Hey, wait. I tried to stop him, but he just gave me a stiff bow and quickly left. I was left standing there in my swimsuit, half-finished jelly drink in my hand. Was that seriously his idea of a date? I stared at the jelly drink. I couldn't remember ever feeling so confused. I hadn't learned anything meaningful about Monsieur Esse. All I knew for sure was that every part of that date had been a letdown. I know, right? Jeez. Eventually I made my way to the locker room, took a shower, changed into my work clothes, and headed to the office. The date ended sooner than I expected, but rather than just heading straight home, I decided to try and get some work done. Even though the date was so short, it was still really exhausting for some reason. I'm kind of starving now, because you had a jelly drink. He didn't treat you to lunch. Ryuki's date was much better. At least he pampered you. He fixed your beauty grade, paid for everything, did the treatment himself, even though there was nothing really in it for him. I have the rest of the jelly drink, but it doesn't really sound appetizing right now. Maybe I'll stop by a cafe somewhere. I don't normally mind jelly drinks, but after such a demanding morning, I was in the mood for something a little more tasty. As I passed the office entrance to look for a cafe, I noticed a familiar face getting out of a nearby car. Is it Mr. Snail? Ah, Mr. Snail, good morning. You finish off the date with him.
ああ、お前か。今から出社か。
Complain about Owen. Yeah, I just had a practice date with one of the Parasite 5, but we just swam for a few laps and called it a day. Oh, speaking of which, I actually saw you at the pool, the one on the roof of the hotel on 8th Avenue.
気のせいだ。
You're such a liar. No, I'm sure it was you. And your hair is still wet right now.
気のせいだ。それより食事はもう取ったか。
Oh, we're gonna go on a lunch date now. Even though it's not a date, he's gonna take her out to lunch. No, not yet.
なら一緒にどうだ。パラサイト5のことでも記事の件でも迷惑かけているからな。よければおごらせてくれ。
Okay, well, this is turning around. I'm okay with this. Are you sure?
ああ、行きたい店でもあったら行ってくれ。
Well, he's gotta develop feelings for her somehow, right? Well, in that case. I suggested the Happy Forest Cafe, and so we headed to lunch.
ここはこの間の。
Yeah, but I was so focused on the meeting, I couldn't really enjoy my food. I was hoping I could come back again sometime.
そうか。
They use a lot of natural ingredients here. I assume you only had that jelly drink for breakfast, so I'm sure it'll be good for you. Mr. Snail is staying at the share house, and I remember he just grabbed a jelly drink before leaving for the day. Oh, it's the same day as that, huh? Okay. Puts things in perspective.
別にあれしか食べていないわけではない。
The only other thing I see you eat is protein bars.
栄養は十分足りている。
That's cute. I've seen him taking supplements too, but that's about it. Mr. Snail is so busy he has no interest in good food. Since he was paying, I thought he should treat himself to something nice. I convinced him to try the lunch special, then he called the server over. As we waited, I prepared to give him an update on the Parasite 5. But when I looked over, I noticed he'd already pulled out his laptop and started working on something. I apologize for taking up your lunch break when you're obviously so busy.
ああ、こちらこそすまない。仕事のメールが入っていてな。送り終えたから大丈夫だ。
He quickly closed his laptop, but within moments he got a notification on his phone and opened the laptop back up again.
すまない。また休養だ。
Being the president of a company really does keep him constantly busy. He has to reply even in the middle of his lunch.
お待たせいたしました。ハッピーフォレストランチお二つです。
The food had finally arrived and Mr. Snail stuffed his laptop back into his bag.
では食べるとするか。
Great, this looks delicious. Watching the president, he obviously had a refined approach to eating. He maintained perfect posture, very impressive.
それでパラサイト5との模擬デートはどんな具合なんだ。
Well, there's one in particular I just can't seem to reach.
そうなのか。社会人として礼儀がなっていないな。
It's you. Well, to be honest, it's Monsieur Esse. Are you okay? You okay?
ああ、少しむせただけだ。それでしかし彼は確か代理が来ていたはずだが。
Why are you surprised? Like, oh my goodness. The way he was looking at me made me think he expected that to be some sort of acceptable excuse. Be honest with him. Sure, but I haven't had a direct contact with the man himself a single time. By phone, by email, I always have to go through Owen. I think I've been very patient in dealing with his representative, but I can't learn anything going on a date with a stand-in.
そうか。そうだな。
If he really does want to get married, he would make the effort to show himself. But no matter how many times I ask for an explanation, he never has a good reason for why he can't come. Everything is a secret with him. We can't even meet for him to explain what's going on. How can I help if even his job is a mystery? Even if I could just find out what he did for a living, that would be enough to make a little headway.
そうなのか。だがプロフィールシートには会社経営と書かれていたはずだが。
Oh, really? He runs a company. But if I don't know more, that doesn't help. He might have $10 in capital and no employees and still call that a company. I mean, you're looking at someone who runs a company.
確かにそうだな。参考にはならないか。
Capital, employees, yearly revenue, even just the company's reputation could all be used to attract potential partners.
やはり地位か。
But there are just too many question marks in his profile, so it's impossible to accurately match him with anyone. And all contact goes through Owen, so even if there was a match, there wouldn't be any meaningful communication. He even sent his representative to our matchmaking party, so I have no reason to believe he'd show up on an actual date. But I just can't see anything but trouble on the road ahead.
苦労かけるな。
Oh. I finally looked up at him and saw just how tired the man seemed. I started to panic, thinking I'd probably taken things too far. No. Sorry for complaining so much. After all, this is my job, right? I do want to help as many people find love as I can. Did you finish your lunch? Why don't we have some coffee for dessert? Their drip coffee is really something special. Got the attention of our server and ordered a coffee for each of us. But a few minutes later... Email... By the time my coffee arrived, the president had his laptop open again and once again replying to emails. Poor Lynette. I saw that face of hers. After leaving the restaurant, I returned to my private office and gave out a long sigh. All I could think about was her long list of issues with Monsieur Esse.
ずいぶんな言われようだったな。だが何と言われようとこの秘密ばかりは誰にも知られるわけにはいかない。秘密を知る人間が増えれば増えるほどバレるリスクも上がるのだからな。
But I had no idea she'd spotted me swimming in the pool.
ゴーグルをつけていたし、顔を極力水面に出さないよう泳げばバレないと思ったのだが。癖でプールサイドに上がった時にゴーグルを外してしまったのが悪かったのだろうか。その時周りに彼女はいなかった記憶だが。
I was so curious about the practice date, I couldn't stop myself from observing in secret. Talk about self-sabotage. You were actually watching them?
彼女からの報告で大体デートの様子は分かったが、念のためオーエンからの報告書にも目を通しておくか。
I checked for messages before I went swimming, but I was so busy that I hadn't followed up afterward. I opened my email and searched for messages from Owen. I pulled up the latest one and started having a coughing fit. Owen had attached a picture of her in a swimsuit.
なんて写真を送ってくるんだ、オーエンは。
Funny. What? Are you self-conscious about seeing her in a swimsuit? If anyone had found out about this, it would be a disaster. A company president with a photo of an employee in a swimsuit. Absolute scandal. I slammed the delete button and closed my laptop. I sat there trying to calm myself down.
写真で報告しろとは確かに言ったが、送っていい写真と悪い写真があるだろう。
I decided to have a talk with him later and explain things in a little more detail.
もう少しプロフィールシートに載せる情報を精査した方が良さそうだな。それとオーエンが話していい情報も。
But I had to make sure not to do anything that could expose me. I sat alone, lost in thought for some time. That was funny. Wedding disruption has no choices, so we're going to skip. And we just got done doing the manly competition with the boys, and Gill wants to write the apology to the forums, I think. Which now she learned that Monsieur Esse likes swimming for his workout. Come to think of it, he did say something about that. While we were in college, Gill often talked about writing down his thoughts and emotions. And we're not going to let Gill take the brunt. I feel like I could write the post as the Cupid Corp employee. After all, Gill sparked all the comments. I'm still worried.
やっぱり信用ないか。
Let's see, can we skip again?
そう
What? Actually, let me
なら
skip.
よかった。まあ美容には悪いから仕事はそこそこにしてちゃんと寝なよ。
This is when Ricky's a little bit worried about her, and he gives her a face mask to help her clean her face. As Ryuki turned to go, I saw him blushing just the tiniest bit, and his ears seemed to be turning red too. And we're gonna say, was he mad about something? Was Ryuki mad about something? Maybe he was annoyed I'm staying up too late. I decided to try and finish my work so I could hurry up and get to bed. As I was working on the blog, I could practically feel my skin getting softer. He really is the glamour parasite. I've been trying to fix that side of him, but maybe he's okay as is, as long as he can be considerate of others. But what made him become so fixated on people's looks in the first place? My guess is that it has something to do with him being such a dedicated fashion designer. And his grandmother. Let's see if I can skip again. Okay, so this is the crazy woman who posted all kinds of provocative stuff about liking all the Parasite 5 members. We're not going to do the save because we already have it saved here from the previous route, so we're just going to report her to the police. And we're going to skip. Okay, I don't know where we're at in the story, but at the same time, that end created a whole new challenge for me. Okay, so going back and looking at it, it says, so her Parasite 5 challenge had came to an end, but at the same time, the end had created a whole new challenge for me. And so that is what's leading into Shelby Snail's route. Anyways, a little bit longer common route than previous games, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finally getting down his route. I'm recording this before a code realize, so I think I'm going to record a code realize as well, and then they'll just be edited later on. I was a little bit disappointed with the fact that we only got to be with Mr. Snail for a little bit. We only got to do a lunch date with him, not including like all the other normal common route stuff that we did. We didn't even get to go on a date with him. So I wonder how she's finally going to find out that this guy is the president. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.